Hey guys, holding the document camera that I've been using right up so that I can say hi to you guys. Hope everything's going pretty well. Today should be another really easy lesson to kind of basically put the equations that we've been using that are a little bit more complicated than y equals kx, putting those into tables and then using those ordered pairs to plot points. And what you're going to see is you're going to get straight lines, but they're not going to necessarily go through the origin like they did during y equals kx. So you guys can take out your notes to page 4. Giving you some time to do that right now. It's good. Nobody needs a pencil. You guys all came prepared for class today. That's awesome. Nice job, Jolly Rancher. Oh, no Jolly Rancher. Sorry. So I'm going to put this document camera down for page 4, and then we're actually going to do one on page 5 together to do that. And then tomorrow I'm going to show you a shortcut, an easier way to do these equations and really get into what it means for these linear equations. So tomorrow will be a little bit more advanced material than what we're doing today. All right, so let's take a look at page 4. Boom, page 4. All right, so here's the notes. I think I already have this copied for you in your packet, so I don't need time for you guys to really write this down. We've talked about before, you can see even on the graph over here that I made the points on the halves really light. We talked about when you have a denominator of 2 here in my slope, it would be a better idea to probably use x values that were all multiples of 2. So 2, 0, 2. I could have done 4 here, where 4 would end up giving me 2 for my y value. And then I would get much easier points to plot here. A couple things to take a look at here. If you remember from before, what we used to call the constant of proportionality, 2 here. 2 is a positive number for what we're going to find out tomorrow is called our slope, and you'll notice this is kind of an uphill line if we look from left to right. Remember, I had somebody in class, I can't remember who it was, somebody with long hair that I had running from left to right. I had the long hair so you could see the hair blowing in the breeze, so you could tell that they were running. Whoops, that person's foot went the wrong way. So they were running from left to right here, and as this person runs from left to right, you'd see that they would hit this line and go uphill. This is a positive slope. The 2 is positive. And this one, we have a negative 1/2 slope, so a negative slope, and you'd see this be a downhill line here too. All right. I got all of these values by simply plugging in each x value into my equation. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 minus 3 gives me negative 7. So y equals negative 7 when x is negative 2. And you could go ahead and do the math. That's part of the reason I gave you so much space underneath, where if I needed to do the math on that, where I have y equals 2x minus 3, I would say, well, what does y equal when I plug in negative 2 for x? And you do the math, multiply before we subtract, negative 4 minus 3, and there is our y equals negative 7. So when x is negative 2, y is negative 7, and there's my ordered pair negative 2 comma negative 7 in my table. And you can repeat. As you guys continue to go on, you'll see that there's often patterns that you can figure out too. And just like yesterday, I like starting at 0 a lot of times too for my patterns because it's so easy to do the math. And as always, feel free to use your calculator. All right, so let's take what we just went over here. You can pause the video if you need a little bit more time to think about that. I don't think anybody paused it, but if you did, welcome back. And let's take a look at page 5, which is going to be the work you're working on today. And we'll do number 1 together. Man, I'm getting a little hungry. I wish I had some tots on it. Maybe tomorrow. Alright, so y equals 2x plus 1. Alright, so as I'm doing this, again, I like to start at 0, so I'm going to plug 0 in for x. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1, so when x is 0, y is 1. And again, I'm going to show you an easier way to do this, kind of a real nice shortcut tomorrow on how to be able to take equations written in this form and be able to graph them even quicker. So you can kind of skip the table step. All right. When x is 1, 2 times 1 is 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. And you can see the pattern here that it's going up by 2. So as long as these are all going up by 1 every time, these are going up by 2 every time. So I can work backwards. -1, -3. Now I can go ahead and plot these points. These are all ordered pairs. These don't get thrown off the fact that the tables are written across horizontally rather than vertically. And I'm just going to go ahead and start plotting them. -2 on the x-axis, -3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. -1, -1. Over 0, up 1. 1, 3. 2, 5. And 3, 7. Should use a straight edge. What do I got here? Stapler. Gotta be resourceful, guys. There's my stapler to make a straight line, maybe. And arrows on my line. And then you should always label your line with your equation. Y equals 2x plus 1. Alright. So go ahead and try 2, 3, and 4. We'll go over the rest of these answers tomorrow, as well as the notes on the next page, page 6. So have a good night, guys, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. By the way, on number 4, the slope isn't there. Remember what the coefficient is. It's not 0x, because if it was 0x, there'd be no x there at all. There is a x, or you would say there is, you got it, 1x there. So don't get thrown off with the slope there, in case that throws you off. Okay? All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.